Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tokyo Ghoul Break My Ass with 1,000 questions in the Discord, but we're here to fix that. So this is gonna be episode 2 of the current meta teams, and this time we are obviously be covering. Oh my God, words are hard. We're obviously gonna be covering AOGIRI. Obviously, to cover AOGIRI, there is no other better account to use the stuff to showcase it apart from a main account, because I think everyone knows at this point, I am an Auguri main, so that is why. Um, so a quick disclaimer: Auguri at the current meta is not doing very good. So this is gonna be focused towards players who are rather late in the game. This is gonna only make sense there. Uh, I cover a lot of alternatives in the video for our free to play friends. Um, I'm pretty sure a lot of players don't know this, but there is another version of the game called Tokyo Ghoul Awakening, and there is a version of the game which it has released in Russia and in Korea as well. Like, there's several versions of the game, guys. There are a lot of players who are just starting out, and unfortunately this video is probably not going to cater to them. In the videos I usually try to take a new player friendly approach, but this time that is not possible because of the current state of Aogiri. To give you a retrospect to players who already know, the way CCG was before RE is what Aogiri is right now. So with that being said, I'm not here to to say that we need a unit to like make the teams possible. That's definitely not the case. I will be showcasing it to you that it's definitely still possible to win going first with Aogiri. You can forget about winning going second, because that's usually not the case unless you're on Teiku. Let's, with our expectations being realistic, let us cover Aogiri. But yeah, the situation at the current meta is not very good for them. So that is why I do not think any new players should be watching this one, because I will not be suggesting any alternatives for any units. Like, you just need to have them at like full max investments. Only then will you be able to do anything with the team. Unfortunately, it is that bad. So yeah, let us get into it. So immediately, let us first switch from our Noorg to our Aogiri. This is my current Aogiri team at the moment. This is not very good. I have been testing it, and it has not been good. So the first problem is, which has been addressed, is Naki's cell. Today I have used Naki, and it seems that the SP Ayato's attacks are already working. If you are not aware of what I'm talking about, you should probably just click off the video, because as I said again, this is probably just for players who are very deep into the game. The only thing I would say is that you want Aogiri as your main faction, then you can stick around and watch it, but I would not recommend to make any team or pull for anyone at the moment. But yeah, with that being said, again, another disclaimer. So yeah, let's get back into it. So Naki Cell, this morning I tried it in RTA, and it seems that Ayato, the SP1, is able to do his bonus attacks. So, which is very good, which is just what we need, for the game to work as it's fucking intended. Yeah, that would be great. So yeah, this current team that is right here, do not use this one. This is not very good. So without any bullshit, let's just show you guys what the current team that you should use is. If you're like hardcore Aogiri, you have all the investments, and this is gonna be it. So as you can see, we use Hide, and we use Red Ayato, SP Ayato, Naki with the cell, guys. This is a Naki with the LR cell, which works now. This does make a big difference. So if you don't know, the first time we take attack, it reduces it by 40 or 30%, which is a lot. And then it also gives disruption to the enemies, or rather it gives us disrupt immunity. Let me just quickly go over. Yeah, it gives us disrupt immunity, not, it doesn't give the enemy disruption, my bad. So it clears all weaks, all disruption effects. By the way, Akira already does that. It clears all weak effects for it after a turn ends. So that one's really not that good, is what I would say. But then again, if you don't have Akira, you can use Naki in the backup, and this all stuff is effective in the backup state as well. So that is very good. That is actually very good. I think Naki is at a point in the game where he is the only one who you can safely use in the backup team and just forget about it. and you don't need to have the worry about running Akira. Of course, Akira is going to be very better, but as far as I can tell, the only difference is that she will give you level 2 cards, which don't get me wrong, is a very better than Naki, but it's not as bad as, let's say, the other factions where like the difference between Akira and the rest of the backup is just day and night. That is no longer the case with Naki with his cell, of course, which is somewhat good. So the thing I would still have be very careful about is this what's it called? Is this bonus attack? It still doesn't seem to work as intended. Like, I have not seen that one working. What I did see is just that it's no longer interrupting this Ayato, or it's no longer interrupting this Ayato. But I have not seen it. I have not seen it work as intended still. But it's not causing any more problems, at least, at the very least, right? So, and also I did not see whether it clears the weak effects because I already have Akira in the backup. So yeah, with that that being said, not much it will make you think that he doesn't do much, but that would be wrong. His 30% 40% boost, which he gives to the damage reduction at the start, when you first take damage, that is still very good. Yeah, it's 40%. So, and this also is applied from the backup, so this is very good. That is why he's currently irreplaceable. He needs to be here. He's already good without the cell. I would argue that he is better than Easter Tatra and on his own, like base Naki, and then with the LR cell, he needs to be in the team. And then we have Hide because AOGIRI does not have any Heiseis or any units that can cast attacks after attacks, so we definitely need Hide over here. He is irreplaceable. As you saw me running all backups in the first team, that was not very good because we lacked the DPS. Let's say that the Naki cell would work as intended, then you can get rid of Hide. Like that is the reason why I was using that team to begin with, is with Naki and his LR cell's passive of one of your units with the highest attack will attack again after after in the last skill slot. That is very good. That is literally what Hide does, except for like it's just one unit, but that's all we need. Like all we need is one more SP Itos attack, and that'll be enough to like destroy the entire team. At the moment that it does not work, so so we will need to use Hide. Let us say in the future it does work, which I highly doubt, because developers they do not fix because they just don't fix it. They just release bugged cells apparently. So yeah, so if let's say he gets his LR cell is like working as intended, like all the way, you can get rid of Hide and you can put Easter Tatra in very safely, no problem. Let's say you have Noro with the cell, you can use Noro with the cell instead of Hide or Easter Tatra as well. There is no problem in doing that as well. That is completely a good option. Let's say you don't have a cell, like me, I do not have a cell, then you don't need to use it. One thing to note is that if you are gonna be using Noro, you need to have Akira in the backup. Otherwise, don't bother using him because he can be weaked. His LR cell takes up a spot and it removes a restriction ignore cell, and when you do that, you will only have 2 restriction ignore cells, and that is why without let's say you have Naki in the backup and you have Easter Tatra on the field and you're running this team, unfortunately this is not gonna work because this Noro is not gonna be able to do anything on his own. His passives are gonna work, but he will be put to weak. He will just keep sleeping in the match. So yeah, he's not gonna be able to do much, is what I'm trying to say, because the LR cell takes up a cell slot and he cannot run triple restriction ignore, so he's basically useless. So you need to run Akira with him and then it'll be fine. And of course you need to have Naki on the team, guys, and his cell needs to fucking work. But yeah, I digress. I don't run that because I find that with the Hide and the Naki, it's completely fine. This team is what I would use at the moment. This is the current meta team. There is no other variation for it. Because Naki's cell doesn't work all the way. Hide is irremovable. He is irreplaceable. Akira obviously is irreplaceable. She is just very good. You obviously cannot replace SP Ayato, who is like the bread and butter of the team, and you need this guy in order to pick out opponents who are very difficult to deal with, for example Bright Toka. So both of them very irreplaceable. You cannot replace them. Naki, even with a faulty LR cell, irreplaceable. Akira, you need her no matter what. If you don't have Akira, do not use AOGIRI. Just switch to your second faction. Don't bother using AOGIRI. It is I have used it without her. It is very bad. Like, you'll lose going first. Guys, I'm not making this up. You will lose going first. It is very bad. If you don't know how to have Akira somehow, and you're watching the AOGIRI meta video, yeah, just don't use AOGIRI for the time being. It pains me to say that, but that is just the reality of the situation. With that being said, what else is there to cover? Oh yeah, Hide. Let's say his cell works, then you can like literally swap him out for anything. You can use Noro if you have his cell. If you don't have his cell, don't use him. Do not use him, right? You would say what should you use instead of him? You can use Easter Tatra if you don't want to use Easter Tatra because he does very little for the team, and his death damage doesn't do as much for you, which I don't think is the reason he's there. He's there for the triple weak or the double weak he puts on his thingy. Let's say you don't have triple revive, so right, I personally don't even have triple revive to run on him, so in that case definitely don't run him. You can definitely use Sen instead of him. Where is Sen? Where are you? Yeah, you can use Sen instead of him. You can use this slot is you can use whatever you want over here. If the cell works for the time being, don't take the risk, just run Hide. If you need to use Hide in the second team, I would highly advise you to take it out and put it over here instead, because like if you don't and you don't have a massive CP advantage, there is a very high chance you're just gonna outright lose. Like, even going first you can lose. The chances are massively decreased with this Akira because he's very good, but even then, like, it can be screwed up, guys. So yeah, just use this team, right? Yeah. So one more thing I should mention is there is another team that you can use, which is I think it gets rid of this Ayato, which I don't like personally, because I would rather have him in the team. Where is she again? Yeah. So I personally didn't go for Sen. She's I should call her Eto. Let's call her Naked Eto, yeah. So Naked Eto, you can definitely use her. She's not bad at all. But the reason why I didn't go for her personally is because she does not cast her skill like little Hinami, who just casts her skill on the entry, regardless of her team's turn. She just casts it, and you don't need to use her, which is amazing. She doesn't waste a card slot. However, this Sen does not do that, even though she came after the Hinami. This baffles me, and that is why I did not pull for her. She just takes up the slot. However, that doesn't mean she's bad. If you have her, definitely a very good unit. She can be used in the second team, and you can even use her in the first. So how should you go about using her? So this team, you can definitely use it if you have this Sen at SSS, then you can use it. If not, I would not recommend using it. So how you should go about using this one is also, this is just a second alternative. There's just two teams. The first one I showed you earlier, that one, you should run that one. If you don't have it, you can just run if you don't want to run that, if, like, let's say you don't, for whatever reason you want to run this one, or you just don't want to run Red Ayato, that's completely fine. You can run this too. This is fine too. This one has more raw damage than that one, the first team I showed you. However, the first team is more consistent than this team. The reason being, the Red Ayato over there is very helpful to pick out problematic units at single targets. So he's very useful. So it's more consistent there. But let's say you want to use this team, you can do that too. This one has more raw damage than it. And how you should go about doing that is again, before we start, you need to have her. If you don't bother using the team. So you need him with the cell. If you don't have him with the cell, don't bother using the team. How you need to use it is that you can use one Eto at the start, and then you can use a Hide, and then of course you need to use the SP Ayato. You're gonna get two attacks. However, you are getting lesser attacks than I've shown in the first team, but the difference is you have an Ato buff and you have a Hide buff. So this is gonna make SP Ato hit very hard, very hard. He's gonna hit for like 7 to 8 million damage in like one of his attacks, and then the follow up, which will be Hide's attack, is gonna be 6 million, which is very good, very high damage. The problem here is, and the reason why I said it was inconsistent, is that let's say your Aito is disrupted, and then the damage will obviously be a tad bit less. Obviously, disruption does not affect him as much as the rest of the Aogiri units, and he doesn't have any disrupt immunity, and still he can do damage even despite the fact. But that doesn't change the fact that of course he will do a little bit less damage. So and which will make a huge difference in this team, because for whatever reason he hits a little bit less, right? Then it will be the difference maker between the enemy dying and not dying. And the reason for that is already you have used up a Eto card in the first slot, and then you use a Hide, or you can even do it the other way around. You can use a Hide, and then you can use an Eto card, and then you can use the SP Ito. I would not recommend you do that unless like yeah, I don't know. I just wouldn't do that. The reason being because his buff will carry over to the next round, and then you can immediately use another Ayato without needing another Hide card. You can just use him straight away because his buff applies to two card slots, not one. So if you use him in the first slot and then you use Eto will cast her skill 2 times. Which is not bad if you have her at full investments, fully maxed out. It won't make a difference. Let's say you have everyone at triple S. You get like you're obviously gonna get a 2-star Aita card. Let's say it merges and you get a 3-star card. You use this, her, and him. Is gonna be a 1-shot. It's like you don't even need the bonus attack from Hide. It's gonna be a 1-shot. If let's say you get a gold card, a 2-star card, you can use him, her, and then her after him, and then SP Ito, 2 attacks, the enemy's gone. Don't need to worry about anything. So yeah, good team. I would recommend you use it, but the only problem is, let's say your cards get messed up. Also one thing I should mention is that you need to use Eto if you do use her in this spot specifically, and the reason because is, let's say her cards convert and you get more of her, then you want her as high skill as possible because she's a buffer, and her higher level card is obviously going to give you more stats, so you want to use her over here. So yeah, remember that. Don't forget that is actually important, especially in PvE. That is also very important. In PvE, guys, I forgot to mention, in auto battles, don't use this. The PvE I mentioned was when you're fighting it manually. If you want to use, if you're doing arena, or you're doing like any place where the AI is using the attacks, you cannot use this, and that is the reason why I didn't recommend this team to begin with. Even though it has more damage, don't use this team. It is because you cannot use it anywhere else except for like RTA, and the reason because is that the AI will always use Hide, and then it will not use this this Ato. Her entire slot is completely wasted. So yeah, that is the entire reason. And the logic behind that is simple, because after using Hide, the AI is programmed to use 2 attacking cards. So it will use Aito. If there is not an Aito, it will use Naki. It will not use Eto. So yeah, that is the reasoning behind it. So yeah, those are the 2 teams you should be using. If you want to use any team except for those 2, you should not be using AOGIRI, unfortunately, because they will lose going first. If you do not have Akira and you're this far into the video, don't use AOGIRI if you don't have Akira. So yeah, unfortunately that's gonna be it for this one. Pretty doom and gloom for AOGIRI. Let us just hope that we get a character soon. But considering CCG had this going on for so long, I'm practically used to it. As you can see, I do have a CCG, the old one. So yeah, I'm practically used to it. And besides, for the like the mega super wills, it's not that bad. Like I said, Akira paired with Nakisel, paired with a maxed out Aito and a maxed out Hide. Of course, you need to run restriction ignore on him. It's gonna be fine. You can win going first. Don't expect to win going second, of course. That it just goes without saying. So yeah, with that being said, that's gonna be it for this one. See you all in the next one.